everyone, welcome back to the new video. It's me Namrata here. Hope you all are doing well and having an awesome day. So in today's video I'm going to be trying a new eyeshadow palette, and it's none other than the Rare Beauty True to Myself eyeshadow palette. So this is the one I picked from this ongoing Sephora sale, which was their spring sale, I guess. So I was so intrigued ever since I saw this palette on Instagram. I just knew I need to grab this one because it has a good mix of warm tones and beautiful metallic shadows and this glittery shadow in the middle. I really want to try. I'm so excited right now, but the thing is I haven't picked their eyeshadow primer which they launched with this eyeshadow palette, but I really want to see how it works with other primers because it's not always feasible to have the same primer, I mean from the same brand. So I have a couple of other eyeshadow primers like this B4 picked one and the Urban Decay primer potion. So I'm gonna be trying any of the primers underneath this eyeshadow palette, and I'll just let you all know how this shadows work, nothing else. And yeah, I bought this with my own money. It's not a paid promotion or something like that, so expect something very real and honest final thoughts at the end. So if you're new on this channel, please make sure to subscribe before I start. And today I'm already done with my base makeup, and I used some of the Rare Beauty products like this foundation. I mixed these two shades because the first shade I picked, it was a little too dark for me, so I got one lighter shade and now I mix both, and it seemed to be a good match for my skin. And I use the liquid highlighter. If you're new to Rare Beauty, I'd highly recommend to try this, and their cream blush which I also used today, that is in the shade Joy, which is more like a peachy shade. So definitely give these things a try if you haven't tried anything yet. And also I use this illuminating primer to prep my skin with. Although I'm very new to this, I picked this along with the eyeshadow palette this time, so this was my first time use today. And now I think I should start with my eye makeup. So at first I'll be using an eye primer, and today I chose this Urban Decay primer potion and applying it with my fingertips. Okay, my eyelids are completely prepped now, so it's time to show you the eyeshadow palette. Look how gorgeous it is, although it's very simple, but I think the shape of this palette and everything is so unique, so sophisticated. It has the brand name on top of it in gold, and it's bit raised. You can feel it, and at the back you can see all the shade names and the other details. And this palette is called True to Myself, which is a beautiful name. So let's just see the inside of the palette. It comes with a mirror, which is great for any makeup palette or anything to have a mirror in it. And the shades, it has 3 mattes and 3 metallics and 1 big glitter shadow, which you can use on its own or you can just use it as a topper. Yeah, I'm so excited to try all the shades today, so I can't tell you what kind of look it's gonna be. I have nothing in my mind. I just want to tell you how the shadows work, whether it's good or not. So if you're interested, please keep on watching. Okay, let's start with this transition shade right here. It's more like a warm peachy kind of a shade. So let's just apply it on the crease. Okay, the pigment you're seeing here, I got this after layering up the shadow for quite a few times, like for 4 times I reapplied the shadow, and now you can see the pigment. So there's a matte shadow which I used. The first shadow from this palette is not very pigmented. In the first go you'll get barely any color payoff, so you have to build it up to get a decent pigment. And now I think I'm gonna use this darker brown right here, which is also a matte shadow, and now I'm gonna put it in the outer corner. Well, with another fluffy brush, I'm taking that peachy shade one more time to blend out the edge, like the upper edge. Well, I spent little time to build up this brown in the outer corner. I think it's making my eyes look more defined. So after using two shades, two mattes from this palette, my understanding is the color payoff of this matte shadows are not really well in the first go. You have to layer it up and spend little time. But after that, I think you can achieve your desired pigmentation. You can see it's now looking very well blended, and it's very blendable. You don't have to spend much time in blending, but the color is not really very opaque in the first go. That's what I'm repeating again and again. So if you are beginner, if you're someone who likes to rock that no makeup look, then you can definitely give this palette a try, because it won't give you that boom a lot of pigment. So you can build up if you want, or you can just leave it with a hint of color on your eyes. So now I'm really very intrigued to try this metallic shadow right here. I'm seeing it's a duochrome palette, dual tone. What I'm saying is, mostly you will see it's a pink tone metallic shadow, but from a different angle you may catch a golden shift to it, which is great, very interesting. I don't really see this kind of duochrome shadow in an affordable palette. So let's just put it on my eyelid. So I'm using my fingertip, but one thing I'm not really happy with is the shape of this pan. It's very thin. If you want to use a fluffier brush, it may get into different shades, which is not really cool. See, okay, I have a plan. So I'm thinking of putting the shadow in both sides, and in the middle I'm going to put this gold and then this glitter shadow on top of it. So let's just do it. Wow, it's taking forever to find a brush, and yeah, it's really frustrating at times. Actually, most of my favorite brushes are in my makeup kit. I'm doing a lot of freelancing nowadays. It's the wedding season here in USA. It's summertime, so yeah, everything is just scattered. Okay, let's use this flat brush, but I think I need to dampen it with a makeup setting spray. And now I can tell you how it applies with wet brushes. Okay, I'm not really happy with the weight application. I think it's not spreading evenly. So I'll switch back to my fingertip. I think that was better. I don't know if the camera is catching it properly, but this particular shadow looks amazing on my eyes. So yeah, I will always suggest to use it with your fingertips or something like a sponge tip applicator. That would be the best tool to apply this. Okay, now it's time to apply this golden shadow, and again I'm going to use my fingertip. Alright, what do you think of this metallics? I think these are better pigment wise than the mattes. Mattes take a little more work. It takes a little more time to show up on your eyelids, but these are very pigmented. You can even use your fingertips, and you can see it applies so easily. I'm really very impressed with the metallics from this palette till now. So I'm gonna do the same on this eye, and then I'll be back with a new shade, and that will be this one. Okay, now it's time for this glitter shadow. So let's just put it in the middle. Okay, this one has a very sticky base, just like the Pixie glitter shadows which I tried earlier, and this one doesn't need any glitter glue underneath. I hope so. Yes, there's no fallout. A little bit on my lash I can see, but no major fallouts. I'm just pressing it in and it's sticking up really well. Okay, this glitter shadow is really great. If you love this kind of chunky glitters, then I'm sure you'd love it. It doesn't have any fallouts, and a little bit of fallouts which you can fix with any fluffy brush. But one thing I feel, that is, this glitter shadow is not matching with the vibe of this palette. Everything else is very subtle, very classy, sophisticated kind, but this one is not the same type. I hope you get my point. So yeah, overall it's a great palette. Even if you want something very subtle, you can use this palette. Or if you want to turn it into a glam nighttime look, you can still use this palette. The metallics in it are really gorgeous. So that's all I can tell you till now. And now I'm going to use this metallic shadow on my brow bone and in the tear duct, and then I'm going to do the lower lash. And now I'm going to be filling my waterline with this brown liner by Makeup by Mario. It's their Master Pigment Pro pencil. Okay, again it's time to get back to this palette, and I think this is the only shade I haven't used yet. So I'm thinking of using it to smoke out that brown line. And the same thing, you have to reapply it to get the pigment. Otherwise you would be very disappointed if you just leave it after applying it once. Alright, so this is the look I achieved with all the shades from this palette, and now I can tell you without thinking twice is it's a great everyday palette. If you're someone very creative and you want super pigmented eyes, then definitely this is not the palette you are looking for. You may find it a little boring, but I think the idea behind this Rare Beauty is very simple, natural looking makeup looks, just enhancing your real beauty. That's the goal of Rare Beauty. I think from their first launch until date, they're always focusing on the daily makeup look or something very wearable. They always come up with those kind of makeup, and this is also not an exception. So overall I'm happy with all the shades, especially the metallics are really great, and the mattes are also nice, but you have to know the technique, like you have to build it up. And the mattes, the shades in it are really great for everyday wear. But one shade I'm missing in this palette is black, then I'd have loved it more. But other than that, I think it's a great palette. You can definitely give it a try, especially if you're someone who wears makeup on day-to-day basis. It's great for college or office, anything like that. Even if you work on a client, you can use this palette. If they want very subtle and neutral eyes, then this is the palette you can use. So yeah, I think it would be great, but definitely not for everyone. Some people may find it boring, and for some it would be the appropriate palette. And personally I think I'll reach out to it very often because all the shades in it are my type and also very wearable, so why not, right? And I'm gonna be creating more looks using this palette, and I'll share it on my Instagram, so make sure to keep an eye on my Insta feed. And now I'm gonna complete this eye makeup with a good coat of mascara and falsies. So this is it for today's video. I hope you like it. Then don't forget to hit the like button, and please subscribe if you haven't yet, and feel free to drop a comment if you have any question or in case you just want to have a chat with me. So this is it. I'll be back with the next one. Till then, bye bye, take care.